Hi everyone, and welcome to your full body sculpt Pilates class. This class is meant for the luteal phase, but you can use it at any stage of the cycle that you like. It's going to be an intermediate advanced class, so get ready to feel the shakes all over your body and in all the right places. For today's class, I'm going to be using a Pilates ball and a band, but if you don't have these props, you can substitute this one for a rolled up towel or a pillow or something, and if you like, you can do the class without the props as well. So let's get straight into it. We're going to start with a little warm-up. I'd like you to place the ball in between your thighs, find a nice squeeze on the ball, and then come to the back of the mat. So taking a breath in, bending through the knees, dropping the chest, and then straightening out the body and opening up the chest towards the sky, really stretching up. And then as you drop your arms, we're going to tuck the chin to chest and roll your spine all the way down, softening through the knees until you find a nice full extension of the top of the body, really relaxing the head and the shoulders. Just hanging out here for a second. Good. And then when you're ready, bending into the knees even further to start rolling your body back up and stacking each vertebrae on top of each other, really rolling out through the spine, having the head to be the last thing to come up, and then roll out through the shoulders. We're going to do that again. So bending into the knees, dropping the chest, lifting up, opening through the heart space, and then bringing your arms down, tucking chin to chest, rolling out through the top of your back and rolling down the spine until you find a nice full extension of the spine, keeping nice soft knees. Just take a few breaths here. Good. Bending into the knees even further and then rolling back up to stand, stacking one vertebrae on top of each other at a time until your head is the last thing to come up. Good. Rolling out through the shoulders. We're going to do one last time. This time, bending in through the knees and opening up through the chest. You're going to take a dive forward, straight back to walk your hands all the way out to the top of the mat, and then pushing the hips back to find a downward dog. Really pushing that chest towards your thighs, and just take any movement here that feels comfortable while you find your first downward dog. I like to sort of pedal out through the legs while keeping a nice squeeze on that ball. Just pedaling through the legs, pushing one foot towards the floor, really pushing that chest down towards the thighs and extending out those shoulders, getting a nice warm up here as we move into the body. Good. Okay, now pushing both heels down to the floor. We're going to lift the heels up, take a roll in a spinal wave through the body, and to find your high plank. Good. Let's just hold this high plank here for a second, activating through the core, keeping a nice squeeze on that ball. What we're going to do now is drop the knees to tap on the floor and then pushing back up into your high plank. Good. Nice and strong. Tapping the knees down, pushing up into that high plank. Good. Let's keep working through this. Breathe. We're activating through the core. Let's work through 4 more. Tap and push. Soft elbows. Relax the shoulders. Keep your body square to the floor, keeping a nice squeeze on that ball. Let's go 2 more. 2. And the last one. 1. As you find that high plank, pike those hips back. Breathe. Find that downward dog. Good. You can rock both heels up and down, just taking any small movements that help you increase that flexibility and find that nice length through your downward dog. Good. 3 more breaths here. Really breathing in and breathing out, warming up through the body. Last breath. Good. This time we're going to drop the knees, bend the knees down to find your bear hold. If you need to adjust the movement slightly, make sure that your hands are directly under your shoulders. Good. We're going to find that bear hold. You're going to take one squeeze on the ball, really try and squeeze the ball, pop the ball, push your hips back to find that downward dog. Good. Drop the knees. Holding that bear, just hovering the knees off the floor, squeeze on the ball and pushing back. So your knees don't actually touch the floor as you come to the bear hold. They just drop down, bend, hover off the floor, squeeze that ball, and then piking the hips back to downward dog. We're getting a nice warm up through the spine before we start really working the body. Good, really squeezing that ball, pushing back. Let's work through another 4. Squeeze, activating that core, really waking up. Good, really pushing the weight through the fingertips and try not to take all of your weight in the palm of your hands. Good, let's go 2. Core is nice and strong. And the last one. Good, nice long spine. We're just gonna work those pulses, those squeezes on the ball. That's 2, squeeze, 3, 4, keep squeezing, 5, really try and squeeze that ball, 6, whoo, thighs on fire, 7, I'm gonna let you go down in 8, 9, and 10. Good, drop the knees, grab the ball. Let's find a child's pose. You can use the ball to extend your child's pose even further and rest your hands on the ball as you come into your child's pose. Good. That was a good way to fire up before we get started. Let's take 2 more breaths. Really relaxing out. And breathe. Okay. Great. Let's just place the ball to the side for a moment. We're going to come back to it shortly, but for now, we're going to leave it there. Good. Now let's find a nice 4-point kneeling position. We're just going to work through some cat-cows to warm up through the spine even further, dropping the belly, opening through the chest, and exhale, curving out through the spine and really pushing away from the floor. Good. Dropping the chest, breathing in, and as you exhale, really curving out through the spine, feeling that nice flexion and extension of the spine. Let's work through 2 more here. Breathing in, softening through the elbows. Make sure that you're not stiff and feeling tight. We're here to relax the body, move in a flow, a way that's wonderful for our luteal phase to help us feel worked but relaxed at the same time. Good, let's find a nice neutral spine. Take a few wiggles of the hips if that feels good. Just pushing out into the bum, getting a nice release through the body. Good, okay. Right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna work through a few extensions of the leg. So, I want you to find your 4-point kneeling position. We're gonna work on the right leg first. We're gonna do a whole combination on the right leg, and then we're gonna move on to the left side, okay? So, right leg is about to get worked. Let's get ready. Extending that leg long behind you. I want you to lift up and squeeze through the glutes and find that nice long extension. And then as you tuck in, squeeze the abdominals and have a nice little tuck into the abs. Good, extending out long and squeezing through the glutes. You want to think about length rather than height. And now as you come in, the opposite effect and really squeezing into that core. Good, extending out long, squeeze through the glutes, thinking that leg is going as long as it possibly can, and then it's coming back in and squeezing up into the core to really activate the whole body as we work, making sure that your upper body is nice and relaxed, shoulders are square to the floor, hips are square to the floor, really activating through that glutes and the core at the same time. Good. Let's work through another 8 here. 8. 7. It's a very warm day where I am, so I am about to get very, very sweaty, and you guys are too. Breathe. 5. Really thinking about lengthening that leg. Squeeze. 4. Good. In 3. 2. Last one. 1. This time as you hold the length out long, the leg out long, flex the foot, drop the toes to the floor, and we're going to push that left leg up into a 3-legged dog to get a nice stretch and mobility at the same time. Strength and mobility working through both. As you drop that knee back down, then extending that right leg back up to that extended 4-point kneeling position. Flexing the foot, dropping the toes, pushing that left leg all the way up into your three-legged dog, full extension of the body, tucking the left leg in, dropping the knee, and extending that right leg back out long. Holding it there, flexing the foot, dropping the toes, finding the three-legged dog. Left leg goes back, extending up, dropping the left leg back down to touch the knee on the floor, and extending the right leg out. Good. Squeeze the glutes, flex the foot, drop the toes, push the left leg back up, all the way up to get nice flexibility through the body. Good. Dropping the left knee down, extending the right leg back up, squeeze the glutes, flex the foot. This is going to be our last one here. Dropping the toes, pushing all the way back, really finding that strength and mobility and length through the body. Good. Dropping the left knee down, extending that right leg back up. Good. We're just going to hold it there. And now this time, as we crunch the right leg back in, we're going to extend it back out long, hold it there, drop the chest into a press up. Good. Crunching the leg back in, extending it out nice and long, dropping the chest, push up. Good. Extend. Sorry, crunch. Extend. Drop the chest and push. If you need to drop the leg as you do that press up, then please feel free to take that modification. If not, just keep working through this. Good. Crunching the leg in, extending the leg out long, holding it there, dropping the chest. That right glute is starting to fire up. Extending out, holding it there, dropping the chest and pushing up. Good. Crunching in, extending out, drop the chest, pushing up. We're just going to work through 4 more. You can do it, girls. Extending out, dropping the chest, pushing up. Good. Really crunching in, softening through the upper body. Soften through the elbows. Squeeze. Push. Let's go. Last 2. Here we go. 2. Good. And the last one. Really use the breath. Squeeze it up. Drop the chest. Push it up. Let's hold that leg there. Let's pulse the leg for 8, 7, 6, 5. Keep it going. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it there. Don't drop the leg. Drop the chest. Pulse the chest for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Good. 3, 2, 1. Hold the shape. Now we're going to drop down into the left elbow. You're going to bend that right leg in, fire hydrant. Dropping it down, squeezing up to the side and opening up into that fire hydrant. Good. And breathe. This is hard for me too. So don't worry if you're feeling it already. It's completely normal. Working the body, challenging the body in the most wonderful way possible. Pilates is just the most empowering form of movement. Keep working through that fire hydrant. Here we go. Opening up through the hips to the side. Good. Really pushing out to the side. Good. Let's go 4 more. And then we're going to work some pulses. You know what's coming. 4. I'm going to give you a break after the pulses, so keep pushing. 3. Here we go. 2. Last one. Hold it up. Fire hydrant. Pulses. Here we go for 8. Really pulsing up. 7. 6, push, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, dropping it all the way down. Give that right glute a little tap out. Let's find our child's pose and just take a minute here to reset. Good, well done guys. This is already feeling spicy, but you're gonna make it through. Great. So now what we're going to do is do a bit of band work. So pop the band on. We're going to put your band just above your knees so that it's around your thighs. And we're going to do a bit more work into that right glute. So coming onto your left side, you want to lay down all the way onto your left arm and have your head rested in your hand, like as I am now. But you want to make sure that your left side waist is lifted up from the floor and it's not relaxed down into the floor. So you really want to engage in those obliques. Good. And then bringing your right leg all the way up, well, both of your legs all the way up into a right angle. We're going to work through some clams. So you want to open up the right leg, squeezing into the glute, but trying not to do any external rotation. So keeping your left leg and right leg parallel from each other, just extending up and squeezing into that band so that you feel that extension into the right glute. Good. If you need to adjust your position, just make sure that you find a nice comfortable spot to do this work. Good. Really squeezing up from the left hand side. Let's work through 10 more clams. Good. Breathing into that position. Good. That's 8. Really squeezing up. 7. Keeping a nice relaxed mind as you work through this, because this is going to burn. 4. Good. In 3, 2, and 1. Hold it all the way up. We're going to extend the leg out, the right leg, keeping a nice flexed foot, and then bringing it back in slowly, keeping the leg up, extending it out, keeping that foot nice and flexed, bringing it back in. Good. The right glute is on fire already, and bringing it back in. Good. Extension and flexion. Good. We're here for another 4. Breathe. In 3. If you need to take the band off, that's fine too. 2. Last one. Holding that extension. We're just going to take little pulses for 8, 7. Push. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh God. Okay. Tap that right bum out because it's absolutely burning. Now what you're going to do is come up onto your left hand. We're going to find a side plank onto the left side. So working in a bit into the abs now. Good. Holding it up. Nice strong side plank. Really strong through the left side waist. We're going to thread the right hand through and under into a nice thread the needle in the side plank. Good. Using the breath. Breathing in and breathing out. If you have to drop to the elbow, feel free to take the modification before you stop working. Let's keep going, girls. We're here for another 6. Threading it through. In 5, 4. I'm struggling here with you, so don't worry. In 3, absolute burner. 2, last one. You can do it. Really squeeze like you're wringing out a tea towel. And up. Okay, now we're just going to take little pulses of this left side waist. Up and up for 6, 5. Pulse it out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Whew. Dropping down, taking that band off. Let's just take a little reset. So flip the band off. We're going to find our downward dog, piking the hips back into the downward dog and just walking your hands back towards your feet. Having a nice moment just to hang out here. Let's just catch our breath. Breathing in and breathing out. One more breath and out. Good. Rolling up through the spine, softening into the knees, vertebrae stacking on top of each other nicely, and taking a nice roll out through the shoulders. Okay, now we're going to come into a little standing series. We're still working on the right side, but we're nearly done on the right side, I promise, and then we'll be moving on. So you're going to take your band and put it on your forearms. Okay, so it's just underneath your wrists, and we're going to stand at the top of the mat, and you want to take a little hinge so that you're hinging into the hips and your chest is kind of forward over your feet. Okay, and we're going to stabilize ourselves on the right leg, and then we're going to extend the left foot back in a scooter and extend the arms out down long. As we bring the shape back in, we're going to work a bicep curl. Good. Keeping a nice bit of resistance into the band so that you're really activating through the upper body now. We're going to work a bit of upper as we still hit that right glute. Good. Keeping a nice Stable position using your core, scootering the left leg back, extending that bicep curl, squeezing the bicep curl in, stepping the left leg back in. Extending out long, stepping the left leg back in, squeezing through that bicep curl. Here we go. Let's work through. Another 10. Really keeping that resistance on the band. 9. For 8. Keep it going. In 7. It's a bit of a windy day. I hope you can still hear me. 6. 5. Really keeping that hinge over the leg. 4 to activate the glute. 3, you can do it, girls. 2. Last one. Holding the shape back in. Now this time as we extend, we're going to hold it out long. Lift the left leg off of the floor and pulse out through the left leg. Here we go. For 7. 6. Balancing. Use the core. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. As we drop the left leg back down, we're going to come to a more of a neutral stance. And then we're going to drop into the lunge, bicep curl, and extend overhead. As we come back up, we drop the bicep curl, hinging back forward over the leg. Dropping into the lunge, bicep curl, shoulder press, keeping that resistance on the band. Bring the shoulder press back in, extension over the leg and hinge. Working through this combo. Lunge, bicep curl, shoulder press, extension. Bringing the shape back in, hinging over that front leg. Good. As you drop the lunge, bicep curl it up, extension over the head, bring it back in, keeping that resistance on the band. Really feeling those arms warming up now. Whew. Let's work through 3 more in this combination. Here. Good. Hinging over the front leg, dropping down into the lunge, extension overhead, pulling the shape back in, forward hinge. Last one. Dropping into the lunge, bicep curl, extension over the head, pull it back in, and extending out. And we're going to find that lunge again. We're going to push the arms overhead, squeezing into the band. Let's pulse out for 8, 7, 6, 5, push, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Oh my God. Shake it out, ladies. Okay, ladies, let's come to the back of the mat. We're just going to take a reset before we come onto that left side. So dropping into the legs, extending the arms all the way up, diving the chest forward and walking your hands all the way out, pushing back to a downward dog. Let's just take a breath here. Do a nice pedal out through the legs. Pushing down, and we're going to drop the knees down to find our 4-point kneeling position. Okay, so if you remember, we're going to get ready with that glute extension series. So you want to extend your left leg back out long behind you, and then as you lift it up, squeezing into the left glute, trying to make your leg as long as possible, tucking it in to find that abdominal crunch, and then extending it out long, squeezing up into the left glute and crunching back in. Good. Softening through the elbows, keeping the shoulders square towards the mat, hips square towards the mat. Really finding that length through the body as you activate into that left glute and fire it up, ready to burn out the next side. Squeezing up and squeezing in. We're here for another 8. Squeeze. 7. Let's keep it going. 6. Push. 5. You've got this, girls. Really thinking about that length. Using the breath. Extending as you lengthen it out. Breathing in as you crunch in. Breathing out as you extend. Good. Last 3. In 2. Finding that beautiful length through the body. Final 1. Good. Holding it out this time. We're going to flex through the left toes. Drop the foot to the floor. Pushing up through the hands to find that downward dog. Extending your right leg back to 3-legged. Feeling that beautiful release. And And then bringing the shape back in, tapping the right knee down, extending through the left glute to squeeze up, hold, flex through the left foot, drop the left toes, pushing the right leg all the way back up to find that beautiful flexibility and strength. Good, bringing the shape back in, tapping the right knees down, extending the left leg back long, hold, flexing out through the foot, tapping the toes down, pushing back to find your downward dog, hold, and now this time we're going to drop the chest, push the shape back in, squeeze the leg in, and extend it out long. Good, dropping the chest, pushing up, squeezing the leg into that abdominal crunch, and extending the leg out long, squeeze. Drop the chest, pushing up, bringing the shape back in, extending that leg really long behind you, activating the glute. Drop the chest, pushing up, squeezing in. Good, we're here for another 4. Push. 3. Drop the chest, pushing up, squeezing in, really softening through the elbows. 2. Finding that beautiful balance and strength in your body. 1. Dropping the chest, pushing up, hold the leg, we're going to pulse it out for 8. 7, push. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold it there, drop the chest halfway, pulse the chest for 8. 7, 6, push. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, push the shape back up, dropping down to the right elbow, swinging the leg round into that fire hydrant position, drop, take a small release, pushing the leg back up, left leg goes up, the outer glute is squeezed to find that fire hydrant position. Squeeze, using the breath. The breath is so powerful. Really opening up through the hips and then bringing it back down. We're here for another 6. Breathe through it. I know the glute is burning. 5, push. 4, 3, work through it, girls. 2, we're gonna hold it out. In 1, let's pulse it out for 8. 7, 6, 5, 4, push. 3, 2, 1. Whew. Okay. Finding a child's pose, you can tap out that left glute. Well done, that was not easy. Let's just take a minute to relax in our child's pose, extending out through the top of the chest to really release the upper body as well. That has worked hard. Okay, we're gonna pop the band on again so that the band is just above the knees, and we're gonna come and lay down on our right side and resting the head into the right hand. Remember, you want to really lift your oblique muscles up off of the floor and activate through that side waist, bringing your legs up into a right angle position, and we're going to get ready to work through those clams. So extending up into the band, squeezing into that left glute. Remember, you don't want to have any external rotation, just full activation of the glute, an absolute murder of the glute muscles. But we're nearly there, guys. You've worked so hard already, so don't give up. Let's power through. Good. We're here for another 6. Pushing up. 5. 4. Good. You can do it. 3. 2. 1. Holding up through that clam, finding that extension of the left leg, keeping a nice flexed foot, and bringing the shape back in, holding that clam high, extending the leg out, squeezing into that glutes, feeling the burn. Remember to try and relax your mind and just power through the movement and enjoy the burn. Good, we're here for another 6. Breathe in and out. Good. 4. I'm burning here with you guys. 3, 2, Last one, hold it out. We're gonna pulse it out for 8. Pulse, 8, 7, squeeze, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh my God, okay, relax. Tap out that left glute, just check that it's still there. It's still with us. Okay, burn out those abs. Good, so popping up onto the right arm, extending the left arm up high and above you, finding that side plank. If you need to drop to the knee or the forearm, feel free. We're gonna thread through the left side with the right hand. Squeezing up, really squeezing through and bringing that rib to your hip as if you're wringing out a tea towel. Good, squeeze, thread the needle through and coming all the way up, extend. Good, pushing through it, girls. Really strong through those obliques. We're here for another 4. Good, we're gonna pulse it out in 3. 2, all the way up. Last one. And extending up, pulsing out through the hips for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, push, 3, 2, 1. Ooh, okay. Dropping down, having a relax, taking the band off the legs. We're gonna come into that standing series now on the left side. So we're gonna come to the top of the mat. You can take a little roll out through the shoulders just to release for a second before we get into it. Good, okay. So popping your band just underneath your wrists on your forearms. So we're gonna get that nice upper body workout. Standing at the top of the mat, hinging forward over the body slightly. We're gonna now stabilize through the left leg and we're gonna scooter our right leg back. As we scooter it back, we're gonna bicep curl through the arms. Good, as we extend, we bring the leg back in. Good, bicep curling as we scooter back, extend and bringing the leg back in. Good, let's work through this. Really stabilizing through the core, putting resistance into that band so that we're getting a nice burn out through the arms as well as the glutes. Good, squeeze. Really using the core to keep your balance. Enjoy the time, enjoy the movement with your body. You get to move. You don't have to move. That's how I always like to think about it. We are lucky enough to be moving our bodies, working through our cycles, empowering ourselves to keep active and fit and healthy. Let's work through another 3 more here. 3, 2, pushing back, 1. Okay, this time as we extend the leg back, we're gonna hold the bicep curl. We're gonna lift the right leg off the floor. We're gonna pulse it out for 8, 7, squeeze into the band, 6, hold your core, 5, 4, push, 3, 2, 1. As we drop the right leg, we're gonna push back in to our lunge. We're gonna extend the arms overhead, holding that lunge, bringing the arms back down, undoing the bicep curl and hinging over the front foot. Good, as we hinge into the lunge, we bicep curl. We push the arms overhead. We bring it back in. We hinge back over the lunge, opening up the bicep curl. Good, lunging down, bicep curl. Overhead press. Bring it back in. Extending it out. I am dying here with you guys. My glute is on fire. My arms are on fire. Everything is burning. We're gonna here for another 3 more. Use the breath. 3. Push, extend. 2, nice fluid motion. Overhead. Push, extend. Last one. Overhead, we're gonna pulse out, keeping that resistance on the band. Pulse it out for 8, 7, 6, lower into that lunge. More resistance on the band. 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Okay. Whew. Shake out through the legs, roll out through the shoulders, drop the band, come to the back of the mat, drop into the legs, open up through the chest, diving the body forward and walking the hands out. Let's find a nice downward dog release. Good, release the body, calm the mind. pedal out through the legs if you like. Take a few breaths just to regain your center and calmness. Okay, good. Dropping the knees. We can find a child's pose, just a quick child's pose, and relax. Okay, good. Now we're going to work through the final bit, a little bit of abs. You're going to need a ball. I'm just going to go get my ball. It ran away from me. So we're going to place the ball at the bottom of our shoulder blades, coming onto our back. We're going to just rest the ball at the bottom of your shoulder blades, and let's just take a minute to relax the whole body over the ball and extend your legs out into a butterfly position, keeping your feet together and your knees out wide. Let's just relax here for a moment and find our breath, opening up through the ribs, allowing them to flare open. Now you're going to tuck your hands behind your head. You're going to bring your chin to chest, squeeze your ribs down into the ball, and lift your chest all the way up while keeping the legs wide. Good. And then extending back over the ball, trying to keep your ribs down, try not to let them flare out. Tucking chin to chest. Exhale, squeezing up into that core. Good. Inhale on the way down. Exhale on the way up. Squeezing up into that core. Feeling the shakes already. Good. Extending out. Control the ribs. Tucking chin to chest. Squeezing up. Good. This time, as we squeeze up, we're going to bring our knees to touch. So squeezing up, tapping the knees in, and then extending the body out, relaxing the knees back out, controlling them out. Good. Squeezing chin to chest. Core comes all the way up, tapping knees in, and then release. Coming all the way down, controlling the ribs, controlling the knees. Let's work through this for another 6. Breathing in and breathing out. 5. 4. Controlling those ribs, really squeeze into that core, controlling the movement of the hips. Feel the squeeze on the lower abs, really hollowing out through the stomach. Keeping your belly button almost squeezed into your spine. Good. Final one. Opening all the way up and then squeezing the shape in and hold. Okay, we're going to bring your legs to tabletop and we're just going to work through a bicycle crunch here. So touching your left arm to your right knee and then switching it up, touching your right arm to your left knee. Really heavy on that ball with the chest and pushing your chest up rather than bringing your knee in. You want to think about bringing your chest to your knee rather than bringing your knee all the way into your chest. Squeezing through this. Let's work here for another 10. Breathe. 9. You want to take it nice and slow. Really feel each movement as you do it. Good. 5. 4. We're nearly there, girls. 3. 2. And 1. Coming through center. We're going to hold the arms out. We're going to take little pulses of the chest towards the legs. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Hold it. Now you're going to extend your legs, extend your arms over the ball overhead, extend the legs long and bring it in. Extending out long, hollowing out through the stomach and bring it in. You can hear the shakes in my voice. We're nearly there. 8. Let's work through. 7. Keep pushing. 6. 5. Chest up. 4, really squeezing up through the chest. 3, 2, we're not done yet. Last one, hold it up, hold your hands behind your head, extend the legs long, scissor it out for 7, 8, scissor it out for 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, push, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Whew. Open up through the chest, allow the ribs to open up wide, and extend over the ball. Extend your legs out really long if that feels good. Extend your arms up. All of the hard work is done, girls. Let's remove the ball from underneath. Just stay with me for a minute. Just take a quick stretch. Take as many rocks and rolls as you need to get up. And we're just gonna take a last final stretch. And then we are all done, okay? Finding our last child's pose, because the child's pose is the nicest pose. Good, just relaxing the body. That was not easy, girls, so well done for making it through that class. I found that very challenging, especially that ab at the end. You guys did absolutely amazing. Good. Let's come up to our 4-point kneeling position. And let's just work through a few cat-cows. Opening through the chest. And flexing out through the spine. Good. Let's just work through this. Take a moment to thank your body for all of the work that it's just done for you. Remember how much gratitude we should have to be able to move the way that we do and use our bodies in such a wonderful way that makes us feel good. Now just take this moment to move in any way that feels good. Roll through your spine, find some curves through the neck. Extend and move. Any tight parts, just spend a little extra time stretching them out. Good, and when you're ready, let's find that nice neutral position. We're gonna open up through the right side, extend the right arm towards the sky, and then thread it underneath your left arm to drop the right cheek to the mat, and extend the left arm all the way up to the sky, and really feel that nice stretch out through the shoulder. Good. Okay, dropping the left hand down, finding that nice neutral position, extending up through the left side, chest opens up towards the sky, thread your left arm through your right arm, and then finding your head on the floor and extending your right arm up towards the sky. That feels good. Take a breather here. Good. And dropping the right arm back down to the floor to find that neutral position. I'm going to float that right leg up into 3-legged, finding that beautiful extension. Nice big stretch. Tucking in your right knee towards your right wrist, placing your leg down, dropping the right hip towards the floor, extending the left leg back. If this is too difficult, you can bend the back leg, extending chest up towards the sky, opening up through the heart space, and then rolling over the right leg, dropping the forehead to the forearms, and just holding it here for a moment, finding a moment of stillness in your body, and taking a few breaths. Good. Extending all the way up, placing your right hand on your right side, and extending the left hand all the way over the right head, and opening up through the right side body. Just getting a nice beautiful extension. Good, and then finding your center, tucking the left toes, piking your hips all the way back to downward dog. Let's just repeat that on the left side. So floating the left leg up, finding that beautiful extension and flexibility. Just having a moment here to feel that stretch. Good, and then tucking the left knee in towards your left wrist, dropping the left hip, extending the right leg back, placing your left hand on your left side, floating your body down, dropping your forehead onto your forearms. And let's just take a moment of stillness here, again feeling that beautiful stretch out through the glutes that has worked so hard for us today. Dropping your left hand to your left side and extending that right body all the way over. Nice, beautiful side bend. Good. Coming back to center. Tucking the right toes, finding your downward dog, hiking your hips all the way back. This is our final downward dog. Let's just take a moment here to really stretch out through the top of the back and pushing that chest towards your thigh. Walking your hands slowly in towards your feet. And rolling up, bending into the knees. Rolling your body up slowly, stacking one vertebrae on top of each other. Having the head and shoulders be the last thing to come up. Rolling out through the shoulders. Now we're just going to take our 3 grounding breaths. Bending into the knees, opening up through the chest, opening the heart to the sky, bringing your hands through your heart space and breathing out. Breathing in, bending into the knees, opening up to the sky, breathing out. Hands come through your heart space. Let's go. Final breath, breathing in, all the way up. It's getting very windy now. Bringing into your heart space. And let's just think about one final thing that we're grateful for today. I know I'm grateful for this beautiful view and wonderful life that I live and a wonderful body that I have that I can move. Okay, opening up the eyes, rolling out the shoulders, and you are all done. Thank you guys very much for joining me today. I absolutely loved giving you that class and I hope that you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.